foundation exists to help people realize a dream. We do that by providing community funds, donor-advised funds, and managed endowments. What you're going to see are people who are realizing a dream through the work of the foundation.
I got involved in the hippotherapy program probably 12 years ago when the already existing Rainbow Riding Academy approached Gary Stanfield and asked him if they could use our outdoor arena to facilitate what they called hippotherapy. The therapist showed up on a Thursday night and she pulled an old horse out of that trailer named Ginger. And she had 4 clients that night, and Gary hung over that fence. He asked her when it was all over with, why are there only 4 children? And she said, because it costs money. So he hung over that fence and he said, you gather up another horse. He said, I'm going to gather us up some money. So today we have 6 therapy horses and we serve 52 children per season, and it's free of charge, thanks to Gary Stanfield.
The Foundation's community project funds are created for various programs, groups, and organizations throughout our area. Most often, they begin when someone sees a need that is being unmet in our community, just as it did with the Stanfields in our hippotherapy program. But sometimes change comes from tragedy and a need to make sure you improve the situation for those who follow after you.
We were expecting our 3rd child. We were very excited. We had 2 older children, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. Had a very healthy pregnancy. Our previous pregnancies have been very healthy, so everything was very, very normal. We went to the clinic for a routine ultrasound and they couldn't find a heartbeat. And at first they thought that maybe it was just the baby was turned funny or something like that. They weren't very alarmed. And so they took me back for an ultrasound, and that is when we found out the devastating news that's every parent's worst fear, and that was that there was no heartbeat. I went in on Monday morning bright and early with my family to deliver the baby. That was really hard. I can remember looking at my nurse and saying, I don't want to do this. Finally, I got my baby boy, and he weighed just a little over a pound, and it looked a whole lot like his older brother. So I spent about 2 hours with him, and then they had to take him from me. And that was one of the more difficult moments, was when I handed him off to the nurse, because I knew that that was it. And so handing your child to a stranger and knowing that you'll never see him again is something that nobody should have to do.
Whatever motivates your desire for change, the Foundation can assist you in making an impact in your community.
I think about this all the time. If Gary Stanfield could walk in this barn right now in 2017, it would take his breath away. He would be so proud that what he thought he was starting 12 years ago has grown and become what it is today.
Between our training programs for our medical community, the Twilight Run, and our support group, now when a family experiences this kind of loss, they know they're not alone, and they know that there's a whole community behind them, and that their child's life mattered, that their grief matters, that they matter, and that they don't have to go through this by themselves.
I feel like everybody can be a philanthropist. The word philanthropy means the love of humankind. And by getting with a community foundation like West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation, you get to participate in that same worldview and get to be a part of it.
Donor-advised funds are giving vehicles that allow donors to make charitable contributions, receive an immediate tax deduction, and then recommend grants from the funds over time. Having a donor-advised fund takes the burden off the donor, as the Foundation does the work of reviewing the charitable organizations and making the donors' recommended distributions.
Donor-advised funds make it very easy to give stock. Having been the treasurer of several nonprofits over the course of my career, Most nonprofits, smaller ones in particular, and even churches are not set up very well to receive stock, and it kind of creates a burden for that organization to try to do something with the stock. The foundation is a perfect place. They're set up to receive stock, and they can take care of that, and you can get the tax deduction for that gifting of appreciated stocks, which is a great tax strategy. And then later you can decide which charities you want that to benefit from the gift of that stock.
Endowments are funds set aside in perpetuity following the Foundation's prudent investment policy, which allows for growth of the principal while also generating an annual distribution for the donor's intended purpose.
We felt that it was important to have a perpetual gift to the symphony because many times just a single gift is simply that. It is not a long-lasting gift. One of the advantages, of course, of an endowment is that it allows you to do that. You have the initial gift and then you continue to follow up with that, and it can last for years and years.
When I have clients that want to make charitable gifts even after their deaths, the foundation is a good resource because it allows them to put a structure in place and also sets up the foundation as a means to do the accounting and the tax reporting and establish that structure so that their intent can be carried out even when they're not here to make the gifts personally.
What you have seen are many people putting their passion into action. Our communities have many unmet needs. The Foundation would love to help you realize your philanthropic dream.